How are we doing, guys? Good evening to one and all. This is something I don't do very often. It's a video response. I was very kindly tagged by Mr. Scotcher, fellow Scotcher, Mr. Monkey Spaz even. I do apologise, Jimbo, for getting your name wrong. It's been a long day. Yeah, and this the question, or the title of this video response is 5 gaming facts about me that no one gives two shits about. Yeah, anyway, right, I've had to write these down because I was struggling to think of anything that was even remotely interesting, and I probably haven't even managed to do that. So now I do apologise now, guys. I've probably actually mentioned all these umpteen times in various waffles over, I was going to say over the years, I've only been doing this a year, over the last few months, because that's what I'm like. Anyway, the first one, I'm going to lump this all together as one, because I have been into retro gaming for probably longer than most people, since 1998 really. That's when I first kind of got online. I've been a member of several kind of quite well known gaming forums, and so I've got to know a lot of guys in the year, over these years. So the first one, I am very good friends in real life and online with Mr. Tony Temple, who is the current world record holder in missile command. Tony's a good mate. I'm also good friends with Gaz Liddon, ex Zap reviewer. Now I did mention that in my Friday Waffle. Gary, I used to know Gary very briefly through a forum, a Jeff Minter forum. But since Gary has moved up to Dundee, where he now lives and works, Gary has been along to our computer club a few times, and I usually end up just spending all night talking to Gary. So yeah, he's a good lad. My mate Ian Boffin, he actually did the graphics for Frack, which is an absolute classic BBC game. It's most famous for having great graphics, and it was Ian that actually did them. I'm also good friends with Steve Snake, who he single-handedly wrote Bomberman on the Xbox 360 live. He also did excuse me, he also wrote, he worked on the NBA Jam games on the SNES. He also, I think he wrote Silkworm, I think it was, on the, or Swiv, was it Swiv I think he wrote on the Commodore Amiga. And he also wrote the best Sega Mega Drive emulator out there. In fact, it's not just a Sega Mega Drive emulator, it's all things Sega. He wrote Kega Fusion, or it's just known as Kega now. It's an absolutely fantastic Sega emulator. It's the one that anybody that runs Windows goes to. It's an absolutely stunning emulator. So yeah, that's my kind of, oh yeah, and also I gave Dominic Diamond a training plan so we could run his half marathon. So that's kind of it's like everything else. Oh, and one last one. A good friend, Matt, or Mayhem as some of you may actually know him, he beat Ian Botham's son at Games Master. It was a cricket challenge, was it Graham Gooch's cricket, I can't remember what it was, on the Amiga, and he won a golden joystick. So that is my one big sort of famous dull facts about gaming that no one gives two shits about. The next one, I seem to have completely skipped several pages. Second one, I once left my Commodore 64 switched on for 48 hours, if not more. It was back in the early days when I only had a couple of games, both of which were pure crap, and my mate Brian at the time came up with a C90 of games. We had no way of copying them, but I got him to load Kong 64, which was by a company called Analog, which is Roger backwards apparently. Kong 64 by Analog, and the game is that good, and because I didn't want to lose it, I actually left my Commodore 64 switched on for 2 days so I didn't lose the game. Number 3, I have only ever played up to the second level in Sonic the Hedgehog. I've never gone beyond level 2. I've never played Sonic 2, I've never played bloody Heads and Tails or whatever the hell it's called, all the various incarnations of Sonic Hedgehogs. Yep, level 2 in the first Sonic is the farthest I've ever played in the game. Don't like it. It's maybe similar to my loathing of Rainbow Islands, I don't know, but yep, I've only ever played up to level 2 of Sonic the Hedgehog and never played any of the rest of them. Number 4, again I actually mentioned this in a waffle way back. This was back when Argos had a no quibble exchange policy. You could basically buy anything and take it back and you get your money back. I think as long as you took it back within 10 days. I mean, I've even got a mate who went to, it was tea in the park, and he bought a tent, went away to this festival, used the tent, came back, took it back, got his money back. But yeah, my claim to shame, for the want of a better word, as anybody that owned the original PlayStation would know, the laser would eventually stop working and you had to actually turn the thing upside down to get it to read discs. So what I did was I took my PlayStation up to Argos. I kept it in the car. In fact, yeah, I kept it in the car. No, I'm talking absolute bollocks. Let me think about this. How did this work? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. I took my broken PlayStation up to Argos. I left it in the car. I went into Argos. I explained that I was going to buy a PlayStation for, I think it was my nephew's birthday. Now I don't even have any bloody nephews. I told him I was buying it for my nephew's birthday. Now I told the guy that when I was buying it that my wife may be doing the same thing, but I wasn't too sure. But to ensure that we got my PlayStation, I wanted to buy one anyway. But if it turns out that my wife had actually bought one, could I bring it back and get my money back? And the guy says, yep, no problem. So I bought the PlayStation, went back to the car, had a screwdriver in the car I'd taken with me. I swapped over the lasers, put the damaged one into the new PlayStation, put the brand new laser into my PlayStation, took it back about 15 minutes later, told the guy I've just received a phone call from my wife. She's told me that she's actually managed to buy a PlayStation. I bought this 15 minutes ago, can I get my money back? Yep, no problem, job done. So to anybody out there that happened to get a PlayStation from Argos and Livingston back in probably 1997 and found out, especially if it was for Christmas Day, you discovered that the laser was fucked, well, I'm really sorry guys, but needs must. So yeah, that was my claim to shame. And the very last one, I've actually been trying to find out this one, but one of my mates, Shug, he was a very eminent cracker back in the Commodore 64 days. He's now extremely senior in the Texas Instruments in America. He's a bit of a whiz kid. Well, he's not a whiz kid now, he's an old fart like me obviously, but he was a bit of a whiz kid when it came to computers. He actually cracked Jet Set Willie on the Commodore 64, and he gave me a mention. This was back when you had little scrolling messages, and he actually thanked me for making him cups of coffee and for providing him with the original. So yep, I actually let Shug crack my copy of Jet Set Willie, and I kept him fueled with cups of coffee, and I did get a mention. And this was, I can always remember seeing this on various people's computers. It was that particular crack, and I was always quite proud to see my name in lights, so to speak, on this crack of Jet Set Willie. So that is it. That is my 5 extremely uninteresting gaming facts. I'm sure there's other ones equally as boring, but I can't think of them at the moment, and anybody can't be arsed. So let me think, who can I nominate? There's been a lot of people already done. I'm going to nominate GL, now I do apologise, GL76 Gaming. John, if I've got your name wrong, I do apologise. I'm going to nominate you. I'm going to nominate Chris Heaney, if you haven't already been done. I'm sure Steve Benway's been done. Who else can I think of? I can't think offhand people. I know Lactus Prime. I do apologise, I always get your name wrong. I know you've actually done one as well. So yeah, I'll have a think about it. But anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed watching this extremely dull video. It's probably been fairly amusing, hopefully. But as usual guys, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe. And very lastly, thank you so much for watching. Take care.